There's a strange comfort I found in the dark. Not the kind you stumble through when you forget to turn on the hallway lights, but the kind that settles slowly into your life like a heavy fog, low and still, refusing to leave until you finally sit with it. You see, for most of my life, I thought darkness was the enemy. I was raised on the gospel of good vibes only, taught to outrun the storm, cover the cracks with a smile, and bury the ache under busy schedules and polite responses. Don't think about that, they'd say. Be grateful, be strong, be positive. But what happens when the lights don't come back on? What happens when you do everything right? Chase the dreams, collect the milestones, perform the roles, and still, something inside you feels dim. I used to fight it, wrestle with the sadness, bargain with it. I thought if I just tried harder, smiled wider, worked longer, I could outshine the heaviness. But the truth is, you can't outrun your shadow. It's stitched to your feet, and the more you run, the longer it stretches behind you. And eventually, I stopped running. Not by choice, but by exhaustion. Burnout has a way of flipping the switch for you. One day you're functioning on autopilot, the next you're crying into your coffee, wondering how you got here. And in that quiet, when I finally sat still enough to notice, I realized something. The dark wasn't trying to destroy me. It was trying to speak. There's a depth to darkness that light can't offer. A kind of intimacy. It strips away the noise, the distractions, the performative joy. In the dark, you don't have to keep up appearances. You just are. And sometimes, that's where the most honest parts of you emerge. Pain is a brutal but honest mirror. It shows you what matters, what needs tending, what you've neglected in your frantic attempt to be okay. Sometimes, it whispers truths you've been too afraid to say out loud. Like how lonely you've been, how much you've given away to feel needed, how tired you are of pretending. And it doesn't shout these things. It drips them, slowly, like the rain against your window on a long December night, until you can't ignore it anymore. I used to think growth was this loud, dramatic process, like fireworks or a thunderclap. But now, I know it often looks more like decay, like letting old dreams rot so new ones can take root, like shedding identities that no longer fit, like grieving versions of yourself you once loved but can no longer carry. Darkness is where compost happens. The breaking down, the decomposing, the undoing. But from that undoing, life begins again. I think we forget that the nightfall isn't a flaw in the day. It's part of it. That winter isn't a mistake. It's a season. That endings aren't failures. They're transitions. We've been so conditioned to fear what's uncomfortable that we've forgotten how to learn from it. There's wisdom in sadness. There's clarity in stillness. There's honesty in the ache. And maybe, just maybe, there's beauty in the dark too. Sometimes, when I feel the weight come back, that heavy fog of melancholy creeping in, I don't resist it like I used to. I don't immediately reach for the light switch or try to drown it out with distraction. I let it in. I listen. And more often than not, it has something to say. A reminder. A boundary I've forgotten. A part of me I've abandoned. Darkness isn't always the absence of light. Sometimes, it's the presence of truth. And while it may not feel good, it's still good for us. It teaches us to slow down, to sit with what hurts, to remember we're not invincible. And that's okay. So if you're in that space right now, the in-between, the blurry, the dim, I just want to tell you, you're not broken. You're becoming. And maybe this chapter, as quiet and uncomfortable as it feels, is the exact one where you find yourself again. Not the shiny version, not the one that always smiles on cue, but the one that breathes, the one that feels, the one that knows the dark and chooses to stay anyway. Because sometimes, staying, even in the shadows, is the bravest thing we'll ever do.